guys had an extra $1 in your budget to put towards something, what would you buy with it? You know, would you buy a cup of coffee, or would you buy something out of a vending machine, or would you go through the drive-thru and buy yourself a breakfast sandwich? On this particular video, I'm going to address if you guys had $1 a day to invest in the stock market over the course of a 40-year cycle, how much money could $1 turn into? Do you guys have any idea to that answer? This is what a lot of financial planners will use to get people excited about the prospects of investing. And make no mistake about it, that's my intention as well. I want you guys to understand the power of money. And if you guys have any idea or any type of guess as to if you took $1 out of your wallet every single day, and you started with $0, and you took that $1 and you put it into the stock market, and you did that for 40 years, I think you'd be amazed at how much those dollars would be worth over the course of that 40 years. And the reason why we do this is to not present magic to you guys, okay? It's really to just pose the mathematical phenomenon known as compounding interest. And it's really the investor's best friend. It's something to where if you don't understand anything about the stock market, you'll probably resonate with phrases, cliche phrases like investing is like gambling, or I don't want to lose money, okay? And a lot of the reason why people invest in the stock market is to take advantage of compounding interest. Make no mistake about it. And this is why a lot of people, when they enter into the stock market, they enter into the stock market with amounts of dollars greater than $1, because we're all trying to achieve some level of financial success out there, and this is how you do it. But if you've never asked this question of yourself, what could it mean if I took $1 and invested it into the stock market and I got an anticipated rate of return of 7%? Most of the passive investments that I recommend to you guys, both the VOO and the VTI, carry with it an expense ratio of 0.04. All right, we're going to use 0.04 as my example and recommendation to you to attach to this account to make it more realistic in nature. All right, because to own any passive investment, you're going to have to pay some level of fee. Now, some mutual funds have fees upwards of 1 and even 2% in the account. Management fees average in the industry from 1 to 3%, all right? So we need to keep that in mind. But I'm attaching a 0.04% expense ratio to this particular scenario. And if you took that $1 and you put it into the stock market and you made your 7% over the years, the mathematics, not the magic of it, the compounding of the effect and the mathematics would mean that you would have contributed less than $15,000 to that account over that time period. Well, what would the value of that dollar be? The value in the account would be actually over $75,000. So that's actually the scenario, is how you take a $1 per day and turn it into $75,000. And hopefully that's an eyebrow raiser for a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys that may not understand, or have heard of the term compounding interest. This is actually what happens. This is the effect of taking that money that you would have just as easily spent on something else. A dollar doesn't buy you very much in today's society, right? I earmark a coffee. The coffee shops that I go to, Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks, you're not getting a coffee for $1, okay? Most of them cost $2 or $3. So the scary question is to kind of ask yourself, what is the potential if I actually did away with some of those luxury items and I was actually able to invest more in the stock market, maybe $2 or $3, or maybe even $5 a day? What could that mean for me over time? And you can run these scenarios using the compounding calculator that I provide on every one of my videos. Now the trick is to understand that by running a compounding calculation like the one I just did with you guys, to identify that you can take $1 and you can turn it into $75,000, guys, that's true, okay? The math of it just doesn't lie. You have an anticipated rate of return of 7%, an expense in that account of 0.04. Now, where a lot of people falter in this compounding calculation and application is where they do not account for fees in that account. All right. If you take the same scenario and you invest that same $1, you're still going to contribute less than $15,000 to the account. But if you attach a 2% fee to that account, a 2% fee is not going to turn that money into $75,000. It's going to actually render you less than 50 over a 40-year cycle. And that is the power of compounding interest. And that is the essence of why people invest. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this quick shot on how to take $1 and turn it into $75,000. Guys, the power of compounding interest cannot be mistaken. And it's one of those things that if you're a new investor out there and you know nothing about the stock market, it should be one of those things to kind of validate for yourself as to why people invest in the stock market. And this is the singular most important reason as to why people invest in the stock market. Guys, if it's your first time tuning in to the channel, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments at the bottom of this video, and share the message out there with anybody that needs to know, anybody out there that you know that may have an extra dollar in their budget. Instead of buying that coffee, maybe we want to put it to better use, man, and end up with so much more in the future. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and good luck in your investment future.